whatever means. This movement is taking away the spirit of the people to
Fair dealings, bitches. This is for educational purposes only out of Canada. Because these jokers, trick jokers, erase their chat 24/7. Here we go.
try to make some change. I mean, that spirit of activism, of that state of confusion. It should be a immediate red flag for anyone that's paying attention on the global on the global consciousness, and how we are.
I gotta say, it's amazing that
I'm not even saying
Lestat,
now
his
lots of
information is
values
good.
and morals.
I'm happy to see he's trying to turn over another leaf. He's trying to be a good person in life.
Humanity.
But that's not how life goes, man. You don't join up with the scumbags and then rat them all out and become a hero. That's not how it works.
It is about
Cicada's about
privacy
manipulating
and
kids'
sharing
minds off of message boards onto
knowledge
video media
and making
platforms so they could
Cicada
find
is
the
not
triggered ones.
an NSA operation. It's not
It
government
is
funded.
now.
It was just
It was.
a good idea that got hijacked.
Wrong. I saw it was a bad idea from the start.
This is another part. When I say I come from Cicada
Thank you.
3301, and you might have heard of it, and if you guys don't know about it, well, maybe this is a good time to present to you what is Cicada 3301.
Someone throw
It's
the
an
link
online
down to
puzzle
the
that
Conspiracy
started
Distillery's
in
channel.
2012.
They're doing a premiere.
By 2014-15, it was hijacked by the same group of people that we are dealing with now. It was hijacked and compromised, and the idea that it was government agency, that it's
It was people on YouTube.
sect, whatever. It's intentional. Why? Because one of the people from that group went to YouTube, contacted a bunch of YouTubers, presented himself as Cicada, and convinced them, and gave them information to put out. They say, hey, you want to talk about Cicada? It's going to give you a lot of views, of likes.
This is what YouTube's all about, kids.
And
manipulating your peers.
Yes. And this person would feed them with information regarding cicadas, like that it was started by the CIA agent, that it was all a lie. Why? Because that empowered that person. So when he presented himself like that and cicada.
Just like Dave Acton presents himself as the best hacker on the planet.
And these conmans or grifters that we're trying to expose.
Thanks for using my words.
Are really good at lying. If you don't believe me, just make a search for Lestat and CKF331. There's gonna be a bunch of stuff made of me, like a bunch of videos.
By your ex-partners.
I can tell you that it's
by the people you joined up with. Defango, Thomas, Dave Acton, Monograph, Shadowbox.
It has been for so long that people have, in some cases, believed it or just doubted or run away from it. That's okay. Anyway, this is what Cicada is. It's a quick one.
Yeah, QAnon doesn't promote violence unless you get in the way of their grifting scams for money. Then they promote cyber stalking, gaslighting.
Here are the facts. The practice of recreationally solving puzzles dates back into antiquity, at least to the time of Archimedes. In the modern age, puzzles
Here
have
we go
become
with the
increasingly
cicada
complex.
bullshit.
We live in a world where it's possible to communicate almost instantly with people on the other side of the globe. So it's no surprise that the sophistication of puzzles should evolve in step with the sophistication of our communication systems. Puzzles have even been used as hiring filters by intelligence agencies and corporations, although with debatable results. With these games taking place on a global scale, it's difficult to know who's responsible for what. In some cases, the masterminds behind a puzzle admit what they've done. In other cases, we have a pretty good idea.
Okay, so we're just gonna pause it through the cicada mind bending BS that they've been running for your kids online since 2000. I look back, man, 2013, there's like 300 million views to cicada globally. So trying to take a piece of cicada, make it your own, well, it's just like, I guess, any of these other squads that who is it, Mr. Beast, that gives away $20,000-$30,000 every video for people that stay inside a fucking escalator longer or go on a roller coaster the longest. And this is all bullshit for you kids, man. There's this money and the stuff being exchanged. This is all insider bullshit, man. If there's 3-4 guys and you're all working together and you all have channels and you say that the first one gets off or last one gets off gets 20 grand, you don't have to pay each other for this bullshit marketing ploy to get people to watch your stupid fucking video of you and 4 guys going around in, a rotating door for as long as you can to earn $25,000. This type of content is destroying American minds.
For several years now, a mysterious group has been posting extremely complicated puzzles on the internet.
There's good old Defango.
Minds in cybersecurity.
5 a.m. in Arizona, and Defango's up.
Visited the cyber forensic lab of the Illinois Institute of Technology to find out more.
This puzzle has the brightest minds in the world perplexed. They're confounded first by the puzzle itself, one of 3 placed on the internet by a mysterious entity.
There's Rebecca Ann, one of Monograph's little sidekicks.
Second, by a baffling question: who is behind it?
NSA as speculated.
There's Hoax Wars. I mean, there's
Defango
Defango
TV. Only the
TV
most intelligent minds from across the globe
and Hoax
to become
Wars.
part of some new world order. Yet, to this day, cicada free. I'm bending.
This is the cicada news brief that they run on all the little chat boards for the kids. Basically making it like cicadas some kind of a black op that you can get involved in. And all they do is draw you into more garbage on YouTube. So, I can't believe Defango's got LARP Wars in here and he's commenting to himself. Good time to put out a disclaimer for privacy. This video is to show the chat, and really the video is irrelevant. It's all the same bullshit you could have heard all over YouTube for the last 3 years.
Engaging in high-level discussion of abstract and creative ideas. You hear this idea that everyone's creative. That's a lie. It's as straightforward as that. True creativity is very, very rare.
Here we go, kids.
And if you happen to be a creative person, or if you happen to be someone who's profoundly
If you're creative, you're rare.
Pronounced minority. Just as you are if you happen to be extremely extroverted, or extremely agreeable, or extremely conscientious. These are minority issues. And what you do is you find like-minded people who are capable of engaging that. And, heavyweight weightlifters compete with heavyweight weightlifters for a reason, and everyone thinks that's fine.
And the biggest fraud that's being played across America is that your peers, the media companies that nobody was watching the TV, people were coming to YouTube. So they got in with people on YouTube to feed you the information in such a way and to be so psychotic that you would go back to the TV, man. What don't you see about this? What don't you see about this?
The same thing applies to intellectual and creative endeavors. So what you do is you try to find a community where that's the nature of the community, and you likely have to find a relationship with
That's the power of YouTube, is that your peers, nobody's watching TV and believing them, but if your friends tell you it's true and your friends keep repeating to you that everyone's a pedophile, eating babies, stealing kids, eventually that's going to come out of your mouth. And that's what they're doing to you, man. They're using the idea that these people on YouTube, like Defango, are giving you some kind of helpful information, when in fact they're just trying to get people together as a group so that they could use group pressure to convince people that what's going on in any scenario on YouTube is the same thing going on in real life, when it's so far from the truth.
like that as well.
So,
Here we go. Lestat.
that's kind of like these two. I'm
Good
gonna
old
read the
Lestat.
chat and try to answer. In the meantime, I'm gonna play you. This was one of my videos that
Look,
possibly
kids,
went viral.
I believe Lestat could turn a new leaf. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I believe
And this is
Defango could be a
important.
good
You know,
person,
I'm not
man.
trying
Maybe
to
if they had
sell
good
you anything.
mentors.
I'm not asking for
But those
money.
people will not find
Uh,
good mentors on YouTube,
not
and they
giving out
ain't
my
nowhere else
PayPal.
but YouTube and D
There's no
Live.
way that you can
So
put
all
in
they're gonna
super
do is
chats.
come back with the same type
and-
of activity, which is monopolize
Because this is
disinformation.
serious.
That's it. That's what these club is about on YouTube.
This is
The
like
fact
me
that
trying to type
Defango
out and also the
ratted out
deeper
all
things
his
together.
teammates, and Lestat is ratting out all his. That's what
Yeah.
rats do. Is they rat each other
Because
out.
friends of mine have died. Friends of mine have been on the verge of suicide.
That's what they're doing to you, American kids, man.
If you guys can think of the worst kind of gang stalking.
Are you
the
noticing
worst
that
thing
all
that
your
somebody
YouTube
could say
heroes are suiciding themselves, kids?
online?
Because if
like
you're
in some
over
sort of
40, your
campaign.
kids that are 20, well, they're not understanding that it's bullshit. And they're thinking that a
That
lot
was
of
the
people are
cost
suiciding
of this
themselves,
knowledge.
especially the people that are popular.
As simple or as little as I showed right now. But time, effort, like maybe what I'm saying about Cuba is for some people it makes them feel bad. I had in my case, I had the idea that I was part of something
Here we go,
that
kids.
was making the world a better place.
Here we go, kids.
And I
And he cyber stalked a bunch of people with Shadowbox.
Everything right and do something good.
How could you think you're gonna do good things if you're teaming up with a guy like Thomas and a guy like Defango? Like, before they do anything creepy, you know that they're already creepy from how they are on the internet.
Was expected from Cicada. And it kind of ended up being a lie also. I wasn't.
Here we go. Tell us what you weren't doing, Lestat.
And it broke my heart.
I believe you.
It's hard.
I believe you. And a year before, I was telling Lestat that this is how it would go down, based on the fact that he was
And-
hanging out with Dave Acton 2 years ago.
One
Okay?
of that person that is
It's been 10
always
months.
talking shit about me and saying that I'm a pedophile.
That's
That
all part and
I'm
parcel to the gang stalking group that he was a part of. That's Monograph's MO. That's Thomas's MO. That's all the Truth Boomers' MO. Because when they were kids, being called a pedophile was enough to make a guy kill you in the street if he wasn't a pedophile. Period. Period, man. You don't run around and throw these fucking names at people. Period. And in the Truth Boomer era, those words were enough to make someone regulate. Period. And that's why they do it. Because the people calling everybody pedophiles are Truth Boomers. They're over 55 years old, kids. From the time when there was fax machines, man. Remember Monograph wanted to fax bomb YouTube?
You know, once again, the worst kind of things that somebody could say about you. And,
Somebody
the-
throw up the link
person
in
that I
the
looked up to at one point. The person that I let him inside my house because I thought that he was
Here we go.
you know,
This is when
something
Thomas
that
stayed with
that
Lestat
ended
in
up being
Mexico.
alive.
By the way, Lestat is
I
not
felt
an
in
American.
danger in my own house when she was here.
Well, good for you bringing this guy to all the kids that you brought on to Cicada with your good artwork.
And besides all that, besides him putting everyone against me at one point.
The guy that
Several
hired
points,
you,
actually.
you had a falling out with, and then this happened. But before that, he was living with you, and you were buying him
like,
cigarettes.
We're gonna see later, but it's
Yo.
they've been doing this for a while.
Yeah,
Their
since
techniques are
2015,
on the
I've been
book
dealing
psyops.
with these trick jokers.
We're gonna talk about actual mind control. Like once again, not conspiracy theories, nothing like that.
Fair use, baby. Check out the chat. Let me throw some music on in the background.
I consider myself a man of science. You know, that
Oh, God.
and
Come on, man. We all can use computers now, man. You're not a scientist because you could use a fucking iPhone.
The stuff that has happened, that is happening, the things that we've discovered, needed a bigger platform. We needed more people to be aware of what's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
We
What
put
your
people
people were doing
show
that
them
was no
that-
good.
You know, that
And that
the
how it got out of
disease,
control.
Where is it? Actual.
Yeah, my
I know that
career
for
is
so
over,
long
says
we called
Defango
each
right
other's
here.
Chills
Give me a
and
break. Defango ain't going anywhere.
you know, just the worst kind of thing.
What were those
agents,
balls? Like a Super Ball.
No, it's not. It wasn't easy to, and I'm sure that the people. You can ask Jesse, Bobby, Diane, Jethro, all the people, others that you have seen the testimonies on this channel. They're real. Somebody did ended up in a hospital with a mental breakdown because of this stuff. Or BS, whatever you want to call it.
Oh shit, James is mailing Defango some WoW gold, man.
I've talked about this yesterday, actually. You know,
I was a
psychiatrically
Grand Marshal
suicide,
when I played that
calls
shitty game.
himself a Judas. I mean, it's something that is related directly to the same group of people.
Thank you. Here we go, kids.
it came to a point where I really felt, because nobody talks about this.
Except for a few. And everybody that does, they
Nobody
get their
wants
channels deleted.
And it's understandable. But when it comes to a point where you just, the same people start hearing it wasn't really reaching out to anyone. And if in any case you hold some sort of appreciation.
Let me
for
read
the
Diane
people
Nordstrom's
that
comment.
previously
Defango
owned
TV,
the
dude,
channel.
you have 9 lives. You're talented and will always come up with something
I-
new. You'll be fine. You'll
You
see.
can't say who it
What
was.
are these
Maybe there's a
people
privacy.
talking about, man? Does Defango want
If
to? He wants to
come out
lurch more
and
money
say-
off people, man. Leech money for
But
giving
I'm
out
really
bad
thankful,
information.
And I'm going to take this moment to say that thank you for,
You know,
for a help much needed.
these people should be very thankful that they're getting a second, a third, and a fourth chance
And
at
this
the
is
same
dedicated to him.
fucking website, man. Coming back on YouTube.
And I'm gonna.
They want to reinvent themselves as good people. I pray that they can do it, man. Because being on YouTube with these trick jokers all working together
Talk about regarding the cicada.
is terrible,
And,
man.
yes,
Now that they're all
as a
targeting
person
each
that
other, it's
that I
fantastic.
did this video.
But
and if you see symbology and all
think
of that,
about how many people
tell you
these
that
core group of men
if you-
affected,
if your
man.
perception
How many kids they
gets
brought over from message boards.
see demons
With the vote,
see
with the all
Satanism,
these different
or some sort of
message boards they
deviation,
created to run side by
then
side
probably you should
with
question
YouTube.
the nature of those thoughts. And a symbol is whatever you want it to be.
These
It's all
people
about perception.
believe they are fucking scientists.
And that's what they have been tampering with.
You have been tampering with.
How
You've
we
been
process
helping
reality.
them. I mean, how can you tell a story
I'm
from
not a Satanist, I'm not a occultist.
a third person point of view when
I
you're
believe
speaking?
in one
Should be
God.
speaking in the first person.
But I don't have a religion. I don't need one.
I like this comment here.
Once one wise man said, dare to love God without intermediate.
Go on over to Able Danger channel, folks, and watch it without the
Remove the
commentary,
man in the middle.
the play-by-play from the
Don't be
sheriff.
afraid to have a relationship
If you
with
want to hear the message that's trying to be delivered, go watch it directly. You won't hear anything from me.
and it helps. So once again, this video is dedicated to him.
To him,
This is a video puzzle. So part of the reason that it might look like that. And once again, if we close our mind to new ideals,
this is a Mexican dude
it's fear.
trying to help your kids.
The last thing that we should keep on doing is feeding fear. Because with fear, you give up your personal rights. Fear empowers them. It's when you are willing to give out your rights so they can protect you.
I mean, why doesn't Lestat just pull out the handbook and read it to us
Stop feeding and giving into fear.
of what what they were doing to your kids? Like, he obviously knows that this is what's going on. And then he would do the lovely artwork to draw fucking kids in. Here you go with the lights and the colors and the epilepsy-inducing art sound. And if I may add that the Lestat is making all this artwork on a computer that was given to him by Thomas's partner, White Rabbit. mean, just the music and the artwork. I mean, you gotta have something wrong with you to want to watch this crap, kids. I'm telling you. Oh my god. It's like, let's just skip ahead to the live part. Yeah, so I got a question in the chat on my video here. This is more of the same bullshit. So, I think we're starting to find out that that's Lisa Rapier or some other person that's high up in the level of media matters. Like we're talking, yeah, White Rabbit is some rich woman. The husband is gone and she's on YouTube finding solace in these men, and they're abusing her, they're using her, and she's using them for whatever purpose. And I don't know, I never met the girl. Maybe she's a bigger thug than friggin' Thomas, but she's the one. Ask Lestat where he got the computer that he's making all this fancy artwork from out of Mexico with his internet connection all day long. And he's not making no Mexican content, kids. There is, you know, why don't you ask Lestat why he doesn't make content in Mexican or Spanish? Lestat makes content on the American server because that's where he got his foothold. He ain't going away either. It's only a matter of time before these failed men work together again. Period. That's what's going to happen on YouTube. So they're all going to realize that they can't work around each other, and they're just going to let each other have a right of way. It's the great grifter right away, which is basically if you're a grifter and you come on YouTube and you recognize all the other grifters and you all get to grifting together, and then you come apart and you all, you know, take each other down. Well, guess what? There's the YouTube right away, man, the grifter right away, where when you come back and rebuild yourself and, you know, tell people you're trying to rebrand and come back as a new channel, maybe makeup, maybe something else. Yeah, well, it's not rocket science, kids. So now we're just time enough for the fair dealings disclaimer that this video in its entirety can be seen over on the Conspiracy Distillery channel, which is formerly known as Able Danger. I do not support any of these channels, any of these people, period. Yes, Lestat, I believe, is giving good information on most things. Would I be friends with Lestat? Well, he's doing a good job at trying to become a better person. Would I become friends with Lestat and Defango? No, man, because they already screwed up, man. Not interested in reworking and remodeling my life around people like that, period. Here's more of Lestat's videos that he makes. You know, like all these symbols and onk. I mean, I'm seeing a star. I mean, a heart, a fox. It's like Lestat doesn't even realize what he's doing, but it's like so now Lestat wants to use his computer that he got from being in Cicada, from the rabbit, the White Rabbit, who we're finding out is Lisa Rapier, who we're finding out is married, or the fucking lawyer's husband's wife to some other trick joker right up close to James Alefantis. Now, it's not the cicada that's bad. It's the people. These people could go to fucking romper room and work 20 grown men inside of the romper room, movement, and they will get traction from each other, man. And as they bring more people into their psychotic behavior, more people believe them,
Evil
they recruit more people.
intent or anything. Actually, the name of the song or the video is Deprogram.
Yeah, deprogram. So this is one of the videos that they
we
did.
complain about the church, its control that it has. I mean, I'm talking about the Catholic.
I mean, you got a Mexican psychologist
We
here,
feed
kids.
The things that they
He's not just a YouTuber. He's not gone to university for psychiatric, but I mean, this guy is running drills on you guys, man. He knows exactly what they're up to.
niche for pedophile.
There we go, kids. Their favorite word.
Anyway, in this time we take a little break, and I'm also answering the chat. Thanks a lot for joining. Once again, this is just a basic intro. And yeah, it's just an invitation to turn around and to, just your support. You being there. It's enough.
Just hold his hand. Just,
It really-
don't forget he was working with these people for a full year helping them.
Sometimes a mission that
Well, it was
that-
where it was
or-
obvious to me that that's already what was going on.
It felt close to
Was
impossible to
grifting, was
sometimes,
truth
achieve it.
boomer activities,
And dealing with
taking advantage of.
people
I
that
could
mess
even
with your
see
mind and your friends.
the
and your family
Defango
and all that,
and
it's-
Lestat's target and Unirock
you get to see
were all
what's in
working
people's
together,
minds.
and their target audience was 15 to 18, man, not
And-
even
and those
21.
kind of-
From message board, Defango
Yeah.
was giving away printed friggin' puzzle Rubik's
It's-
cubes that he was making for kids.
It's a little dedication for it.
Lestat was making these videos. Thomas was in the background
Yeah.
feeding people information, striking people's channels. They're gaslighting hundreds of people off
Nice.
YouTube, man. And now Lestat wants to come
And
clean. Good.
Also,
Good.
morning.
All those digital alchemy. I mean, the guy needs to take a break from YouTube if he thinks that he's on the good side of YouTube. Period. This fucking stupid music. Just like to point out that Thomas can't make videos. Rabbit can't make videos. That if it wasn't for people like Lestat, and if it wasn't Lestat, there's someone else, man. They can find people, hire people to make videos. And those people will make videos for them, just like Lestat did. Period, man. And it might take them 2 years to throw their ex-partners under the bus and say, no mas. I'm not gonna take this no more. I'm not gonna hang out with friggin' grifters, child abusers, and I'm not talking about their stupid. I'm talking about when you're abusing a fellow American, your friends, family members, kids, man. The people coming on YouTube are not over 50, man. They're not looking for those people. Those people are already watching Fox on YouTube, okay? They're looking for the kids that don't watch TV. And they're roping them in with these puzzles. And they're telling them not to play the video games, to follow the puzzles. And they're getting them to do these puzzles on other websites that are for video games. And it's like an infection when the people who are controlling this puzzle are really effectively just trying to control kids' minds. Period. I want to thank Lestat for making this wonderful video. I mean, it's... So you're making videos about all this great stuff, a new beginning, a rebirth, and you're fucking making a channel and a web page called Shadowbox at the same time. And what Shadowbox was a for-hire website where you could pay Thomas and Defango to ruin your image on social media through their YouTube, through all their social media. That's what Shadowbox is. It's basically targeted attacks. If somebody's talking about how you're running a scam, well, you could hire Thomas and Defango to go and target their channel and take it down with Monograph. Just make it totally terminated, and to gaslight the person and to make them feel like, you know, everything that you're doing, well, they're doing. Then like a year or two later, once you're totally busted by everyone because you're hanging out with Defango and Defango's ratting everyone out, well, then you come clean and you start telling the real story. Oh yeah, the sheriff was right. Oh yeah, this is not healthy. Oh yeah, I do want to prevent this now. But for the whole 2 years, I was the brain behind making these videos for Cicada USA Thomas segment, which is, I mean, I'm telling you, man, you're getting videos created by Mexican, 30-year-olds for 15-year-olds, paid for by 60-year-olds. Okay? Good old Lee Veltman. Diane Nordstrom, like...
For there are as many opinions as there are people on this planet, and as evidenced by our history, attempting to align them all to one view is not only an act of futility, it is also one of willful dominance.
You're right. It doesn't make him a bad person. Okay? Everybody's recruited because they have a skill for one reason or another. You don't think there's hundreds of other good people that were around that were not going to play party to their roles, man, and couldn't join up with, and they didn't approach those people? So when you're working with people and they all turn out to be a scumbag, man, birds of a feather flock together, brother. And that's why they singled you out, man. You gotta work on, Lestat's gotta work on himself and figure out why all these criminals brought him on board and he got on board with them. Period, man. Don't worry about saving nobody, Lestat.
If you change, the people around you will benefit. And therefore, their world would change for the better.
A Mexican dude is giving you what he's planning to do for your kids. He's going to help them this year.
Would happen.
With a chain reaction of love videos
But
from Mexico,
we have to
through
stop
the internet,
expecting somebody to save us.
on over to the kids 15 to 19, maybe 21 now, that he's targeting with his bullshit.
We have to save ourselves. Because
You
Because
ain't
you
gonna
can't.
find no salvation in these YouTubers. Is all I'm saying, man.
No, we're not, and we're not the team that is. If you can call it by teams and losing and winning.
Yeah, you can call it that. Group, affiliation,
We've been
monopoly.
dealing with this organized group, a bunch of nobodies, dealing with what biggest channels, and against the people behind them.
Well, look, I gotta say, man, I think
Once again,
Lestat is doing
this
a
is just a quick
great
intro.
job, man. He's not
Some
he's not the
background.
mastermind behind all this. He's a multimedia
I think
creator.
we're gonna leave it there. Later, come in and do a real
I mean,
show.
it is really good that he is exposing these people.
Prepare and all that.
But that's not how good works in this world. Just
And
because Google tells you that
with time,
that's how good works is you remake
it's not
yourself.
gonna happen like what happened with the other guys.
Good is a
With
long
time.
journey, man. Your whole lifetime, you can do good things. All your life, every day of your life, you can do good things. And just once,
I don't
man.
have to worry.
Just one time in real life, you just do the wrong thing one time, man, and you will spend your life in jail. Go ahead and just touch one person and see what happens to you in the real world when you get off of YouTube, man. Just go ahead and do one wrong thing. And on YouTube, Defango, Lestat, Thomas, they've acted, Monograph, they've been doing just one thing over and over again and reinventing themselves, man. These are not good people, period. I don't give a rat's ass. How much money Google gives you and tells you you're good. How much fame you get from your goodness on YouTube with a bunch of rats and adult dish rags. Grown men and women that see with their own eyes like I do that something's not right here and try and get on board with these people, man, to make some change.
For selfless reasons.
And they will all these people, all these YouTubers that are partial actors
We also talk about technology.
will
Like,
explain
sometimes give little
that at some point they can act good too. It's acting, man. Of course you want to rebrand your image to not be the biggest scumbag alongside the scumbags on YouTube. Of course you want to, man. Of course Defango, Unirock, Thomas, Monograph need to rebrand. Dave Acton need to separate from each other and rebrand, man, because what they were doing is RICO, man. Racketeering. Fucking,
repeating
you
the
know,
same topics over and over, like it's some sort of indoctrination. Not if we don't.
indoctrination.
It's nothing like that.
It's not, eh? No, not anymore, Lestat.
And
Because now you think you're turning over
I
a
hope
new
maybe
leaf.
if it wasn't the most impressive introduction.
Listen, I am not going down on friggin' Maine and giving my wallet to a crackhead or a dope fiend to hold for me till the next morning, just to be safe, okay? Just like I'm not coming on YouTube to ask any one of these trick jokers that I've already exposed for new information to help kids in the future, man. That's not how this goes, you fucking bunch of creeps.
Esoteric and occultism, and I even recorded a UFO myself, and
Thank you.
without a doubt a UFO.
Okay?
So it's
Lestat is telling you he's even made a report, probably to the American government, about seeing a UFO in Mexico, Cause the kid's in Mexico, man.
You got trapped into echo chambers. That the main component is fear. When somebody is telling you, trying to incite in you not doing something or doing something based on fear, that's gotta be your the final red flag that you could need, because you don't need that.
Is this is I mean is
We
this
have
Pavlov Lestat?
Enough bad news.
We're talking.
Problem with trusting.
This guy is
Whatever it is,
psychoanalyzing everything. You're trying to tell me he
We
didn't
got
know he
tired
was
of
joining
that
up
as well.
with a bunch of thugs? When these guys were laughing, ha ha ha, we're gonna do this to that guy. And then they would go over 4 or 5
So,
guys and target
channel
strike a
and,
channel.
streams kind of
You
like
think he
happened
didn't, Lestat
organically,
didn't know
and
what was going on
once
for 2
again, I
years?
don't even like. It's hard to me to listen to the streams because I have to listen to my voice, and it's just a thing, something that I have to overcome. And next time that we are united here, that it's going to be a normal
United.
LARP playing show.
And Lestat is really,
And-
even his
and
English is
it's
improving, man.
Try
He
to
doesn't even
think
sound
differently.
Spanish anymore.
Mm.
He's
Okay,
working
and-
so hard for
try
your
to
kids on YouTube.
give
The guy has
quality
learned a third
content
language.
and all that,
While
so,
you Americans
uh,
are sitting here. I'm so embarrassed to
and
be
I've gotta
friggin' to have gone to a
some
university that you Americans have
And-
universities in your country, man.
Not
And
that we
and I'm
have
sitting
so
here
many
on
people
YouTube
on
with
the
a
same
bunch
time
of
in this
maniacs that can't
It
figure
was
this
a
out,
little
and
bit,
people from Mexico that are
uh,
giving your
challenging.
kids lessons.
But anyway, I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm gonna leave something on. Well,
I
Like
can
we
tell
say,
you that not very many normal people are
close
watching
this
YouTube,
and
this
say
part of
that,
YouTube at all, man. Period. Because
I'll
this
leave.
is so psychotic. Just the people, everyone
And
forgiving,
answer
and
some
Lestat,
other
you're gonna do
questions that I
good. We love you.
missed.
And Defango, I mean, this is the problem on YouTube. These are
And
all failed people, man.
Once again,
These are all the people that cheer on Monograph when he psychotically
Something
cyber bullies other IM
that I
creators.
made, and I
These
hope
are
that
all the
you
people
enjoyed.
that cheer on Dave
Like I
Acton
said,
when he writes letters to the government
we
about
played it.
whatever he's writing
earlier,
letters
but
about.
This one's a better version. Anyway, this video name is Oculus.
Here goes another
And I hope you enjoy it. It doesn't have really
epilepsy-inducing video.
within it. It's just maybe the basic global idea.
The
Yes,
basic
let me know
global
what you think
idea.
about the stream and all that. Once again, you can be rude, you can be try to be trolled, and whatnot. I would tell you like, save it maybe for somebody that will get affected by it. And once again, don't fall for.
I mean, it's broken English, man.
I come from the chants.
Here we go,
From
kids.
4chan.
Here we go, kids.
I was there before Catterday was a thing. That
4chan and 8chan, he comes from the chans, man. And
Internet,
the chans is where 15-year-olds
thing.
hang out.
so
15-year-olds
better
hang
part,
out on the
at
chans
least
because they're not
do something
allowed
fun.
to make
Or
videos in their bedrooms.
animation.
Their parents will go up and rip the phone connection out of the wall if they hear any of these videos playing. So the kids under 16, they watch message boards and they share links, and they don't come on YouTube to watch YouTube TV with truth boomers. So what these people are doing is they're recruiting people from DLive and Twitch, 4chan and 8chan, like our
The
good old
conversation
boy
might be surprised.
Lestat.
This is not like other channels. This is not like. It's just. I guess being normal or trying to be, and it's hard to be simple. It's the hardest thing maybe. So anyway, once again, thank you and enjoy, and we're gonna say our laters in the chat.
this is another video. This is probably Sophia music that's added in. I mean, Lestat's not going to tell you, but this is how they weave their web of deception. You know, and I can promise you, kids, go ahead. It's like an octopus, okay? You let one of these fucking leechy arms escape, man, and they're rebuilding a fully functional new octopus. And they will always just be the media wing, and other groupie type degenerates will surround them, because that's what birds of a feather flock together do. They always find themselves back with all the dope fiends, or they find themselves back with all the drunks, or they find themselves back with all the grifters or the thieves or whatever it is. And that's the cycle of life, man. And it's very difficult if you've already been a grifter. I ain't working with none of these guys, period. And no, not one good person on this planet would work with these people. Based on, if you have any experience in life, you will not work with these people based on their track record, man. That's how real life goes. All your life you do the right thing, and just once, man, go ahead and do the wrong thing and see what happens, because it ain't gonna be like they're telling you it's happening on YouTube. I mean, look at this, look kids, look. This video should have a warning. This video can induce epileptic seizures. Okay, what do you think, man? Do you think all people, when they look at their smartphone, are like you and think the same thing? Or do you think there are some people that are mesmerized like this is magic? Even though you don't think it's magic, do you think that there's some people in your country that don't understand how smartphones work at all? And they just see the picture there. They don't understand jack, they don't understand radio, they don't understand the evolution of digital. They just look at it, they look at their handset, and they're mesmerized, man. And you know what? These grown men know that. I know that. I went to Computer Information University. I know about what the power of computers. And your peers in America don't, man. The ones that got an Obama phone, people that get free phones because they sign up and pay $40 a month, and then they give them access to all this crap. They don't have the tools to defend themselves against this shit, especially when there's 20 or 30 people pressing it down on you that it's viral, that it's good, that it's real, that it's helpful, that it's a community, come join us. And you start friggin' emailing each other, and you start sending each other little emojis and love hearts. You think all that Americans are able to deal with that, man, and just walk away like it's all fucking bullshit like I do? Like, to think, like this guy Lestat making these videos, like I think he's a degenerate as I'm watching this video, because he's not working for Greenpeace. He's working for Cicada 3301. And ever since I laid eyes on Cicada 3301 in 2015, I could see it was degenerative, man. I could see, when I heard that Defango won the Spear of Destiny, and he was arguing with some guy on an Italian Cicada channel saying he won the Spear of Destiny, and that if they want to know about the Cicada, speak to him. I knew that these people were liars and thieves and manipulators. There is no Spear of fucking Destiny, man, kids. And the fact that these guys are so filled with their heads with so much bullshit that they could think that grown men their age would believe this Spear of Destiny shit is just a testament to their psychosis, man. It's psychotic behavior. Here's a video created to induce more psychotic behavior from kids new to video sharing platforms, period. I mean, I'm only watching it for fair dealings, Basically, these videos all get taken down. The messages are extracted and deleted, and everything goes away. And I'm just making a journal of all these trick jokers, man. I don't want a career on YouTube. It's not worth it. There's too many psychotic people here. No matter what you try and do that's good, these psychotic people will always have it in for you. They think I'm the reason they failed. If you ask Monograph, he'll tell you that he's never going to stop talking about my father molesting me, which he didn't. I mean, it's totally psychotic, man, that he'll never apologize for these type of activities. Those are the people you're dealing with, man. And when you want to do good on YouTube, those are the people that are not going to be cleared away. They're just going to be here. They're not going to go anywhere, man. Even if everyone told Lestat that he needs to take a few months off and make videos about a totally different topics, just to stop talking about this altogether, he will not, man. Look at this. Mr. Cranky New World Order is Monograph. Basically one of Monograph's sidekicks, one of his groupies. James 1967 is one of Monograph's groupies. Diane Nordstrom is one of Defango's old groupies that's been attacked by Thomas. If we look through this chat, it'll all be the same people, kids. I mean, I'm just looking for more people that I recognize from being blocked under Monograph's videos. If you want to do yourselves a favor, do what I suggest to other people do. Is that we all know there's a core group of just something wrong with the fundamentals of these people, man, on YouTube. Just stop watching their content. And if they stop getting views, man, they will trigger so hard that their content will just get more and more and more ridiculous. And you know, and they'll be like Boogie 99550, man. They will lose more subs in a week than they will gain. And it's just part of YouTube, man. If you came to YouTube to be relevant forever, man, you came to the wrong place, man. People on YouTube are watching anything, everyone, and there's so much plagiarism and copying of ideas. And what do you think? It's a handful of people that are promoting this Pizzagate topic, and look at how rampant it is on YouTube. I mean, this cicada shit was running side by side with Pizzagate. As I was talking out about both these groups, both these groups would be looking at me like they were the smartest thing that ever happened to the internet. Ask Dave Acton how much he helped people in America over the last 10 years. You'll see. Ask Monograph how much he helped people, man. Ask Lestat how much he's helped people, man. They will all tell you about how much they've helped people after the fact when they're rebranding, man. And they will not talk about all the things they've done to disadvantage their peers' children. Now, I cannot stress enough, I know a lot of seniors watch my content. They come over here to get the goods on what's going to happen next on this crappy website. Because they got no foresight. So they come over and they watch my videos, man. Why don't any of these seniors introduce you to their families and their friends and their faces and turn their avatar into a face, into a picture of their... Why? Because they're deceivers. Period, man.
No, this is not just Sophia Music. No. Even so, Sophia Music, it's a trap. That's the thing. They're so scammers that Sophia Music, all this music there, or most of it,
here we go.
It's not original compositions.
Thank you, kids.
Most of the videos are just copied, and we'll talk to it and.
You can copy anything that's more than 20 years old. Period.
I want to start from zero. It's no problem. I guess I'm only gonna get better in explaining. but it's gonna make sense. And once again, this is what I've been showing. It's information. I mean, an investigation that lasted over a year, and not only from other sources, so it's convoluted. Okay, so once again, thank you. You guys been awesome. I'm sorry if I was nervous. I hope that.
Here you got some of the listen, when you have
Doesn't
people
happen
under the videos,
You know, and
it's a whole different. Okay, so there's two things going on here for people.
and make mental-
So people are being mesmerized by these smartphones because they're not smart enough, man. If you know, you're 1 out of 5 people in America that could understand yourself. I'm telling you, man, the numbers are high. It's like 20% know how the cell phone's working. The rest is just magic, man. And the government and these people know that. And they're using these smartphones, and the TV wants to use the smartphones to mesmerize you like they used to mesmerize people with the television. But they are mesmerizing your kids with this bullshit, man.
I kicked him out of my house when I realized that he didn't even play the piano. That was my paradigm shift. That's when I so.
Yeah,
It's-
Lestat's
it's,
not.
Tedious stuff.
Lestat's not the genius, the mastermind behind all this. I'm answering a question in the chat from MCC
sure.
that
You
says
guys can make it.
Lestat's not the problem. Listen,
Yeah.
birds
In the
of a
meantime, you
feather
can check them
flock
out over
together.
at my channel.
Okay, go subscribe to his channel.
Full channels there.
I guarantee you that the same people will surround the same people. No matter if they turn another. That's not how turning over another leaf goes, man. People will tell you when you turn. Wow, man, you really changed. Not you tell. I'm turning over another leaf. Look, I'm ratting out my ex-partners. It's not how it goes, man.
Catch you guys later. Bye.
I recognize that Lestat's information, what he's doing the right thing. He's doing his best to put out good information in the way he sees it. I recognize those things, man. I like Lestat, man. I like him as a Mexican dude. I think he's, I don't dislike these people as people, man. But I also can see that they screwed up, man. They were Shadowbox. They were Cicada 3301, this branch of it. I don't care if now you want to be a good person on YouTube. That's not how being it. You can rat everyone out. You will not regain standing as a good person, period. None of these people will. That's not, just because your friends on YouTube tell you you're good now doesn't make it so. That's not how being good works. Being a good person, you always are trying to make the right decisions, man. You're not finding yourselves 2 years into a grifting scam working with all these people. Okay. So thanks for watching, kids. The stream's come to an end. Who's all the members of the crew? Well, I mean, this is what I watch. This is why I've been feeling so good, kids, on YouTube. I've not been watching any of the content created by the truth boomers or the ex-truther community. I've actually just been using YouTube to listen to relaxing music. And honestly, I can tell you the last, 2-3 weeks, well, at least 2 weeks since I've, stopped watching their videos, it's actually helped me a lot. And the less I know about what they want to do and what they think is right, the better off I feel as a person. And honestly, at some point, you guys are all going to have to recognize that the people on YouTube are not your friends. They're just like the television, but instead of selling you things the way the TV does as a third person, they sell you things as the second person, like your brother, your neighbor, the person that's telling you to go. Like with the elections being on social media, what they're hoping to achieve is they're hoping to achieve that they can trigger the young people to going home and making the parents vote with what the young people want, or vice versa. Period. That's it. So what you're getting on YouTube is they got all these groups, all these movements, and they put people in charge at the top. You know, they're Seth Riches, they're people they place there. They're lift the veils, the people that they want in place. What's that guy, Seth Green? That other guy that's got his channel with 200,000. So they put these people in place so that when you come to the YouTube experience, you believe you're getting information from your peers. You are, man, but you don't believe that you're getting information from your peers that are sold out better than the TV. Better than the TV, man. Because the TV's over here doing their own thing, and they're recognizing that there's some value into their grift, which is basically pretending to be your friend, pretending to give you good information, pretending to tell you what they believe, and it's all bad information, man, just to manipulate you to do what they want. So YouTube, at first in 2013, was a place where people would go and just drop videos, man. And the more traction it got, the more videos that said something to people over here, well, the more grifters came over here. By 2016, they had purged all the free thinking, free speaking channels as a group, as a monopoly, as a multi-channel network group. The 10 multi-channel networks were working together as multi-channel networks to get rid of anyone that they didn't like, man. And every time Google comes out with new standards, it's to give an advantage to their multi-channel networks that are working with Google hand in hand as a partnership. The multi-channel networks are teaching your children how to monetize the way Google wants them to do infomercials. The other day I saw a girl doing a video. Her mom, she wanted her mom to upload a video because she sees her mom's doing YouTube, and it was Sunday, and it was on Sundays. And it was an amazing Sunday she was showing, and she was talking, and the kid said, come to this so-and-so restaurant and where you can enjoy this Sunday too, man. Don't you fucking people see that YouTube has already created a generation of infomercial speaking, half-wit, brain-dead, repeat after me, losers, man. There's nothing wrong with being an infomercial, but you gotta tell people you're a fucking infomercial. It's illegal to be an infomercial and to tell people that you're their friend. It's straight up propaganda when the TV does it. They're not allowed to do it on the news, man. So the news is hiring YouTubers now to break all laws, human decency laws shared between people, man, where you do the right thing because that's what you want people to do for your children after you, man. And there you cannot, I could not put Defango under citizen's arrest for anything he says, man, because he's just a person. Once you get on board with a company, a group of men, if you are still doing illegal things, it becomes a conspiracy. As one person, you can misinform people. As a group, as a media platform, it is propaganda, man. It is illegal. You will be stoned by your neighbors in the streets when they catch you feeding all this Pizzagate shit to their kids, man. But there's such a detachment between generations in America, man. They got you teaching your kids Common Core math so that parents can't help their They are using the potential of the internet, the potential of the human experience that they have a good understanding over, to get between you and your children with Google as the highway, okay, as the vehicle they're using, to drive a wedge between anything sane and your children and you, in the beliefs, in the way that you think and the way that your kids will be thinking after you, and to totally shatter their moral compass, and to bring them on board as to becoming infomercial people, that information is worth money and everything that comes out of their mouth in the future will have dollar signs attached to it, man. And you can control an entire segment of the population, an entire generation with that method, man. How do you think that Ford got everyone to become industrialized workers, man, with money? Do you not recognize the power that you don't understand that other people are interpreting from these smartphones? And once you recognize that, you know, how safe you feel on this smartphone platform service, that other people are just here as 100% observers. And there's people like me that can build a smartphone, man. There's people like me, that can build computers. On YouTube, there's people that have no understanding of computers whatsoever and are just mesmerized by a screen and couldn't put TV from computer if their life depended on it. Couldn't explain to you one difference between the two of them. And there's other people that have been here with net zero, man, with the first internet service provider like Monograph. There's people here that are artists and they don't have any understanding of psychology. And people with psychology have understanding of what they need to bring art together to gain a grift on other people younger than them. And that is going on right now on YouTube. You may be part of the peer-to-peer influence brainwashing that's going on to an entire generation of kids, man. Go ask a 13, a 14, a 20-year-old kid questions that you think you have all the answers for on YouTube, man. You will find a scared individual, man. The mentors on YouTube are criminals. Have a great day, kids. I hope it helps to have just someone else's input, man. Go subscribe to Lestat's channel. He's turning over a new leaf. I want him to do good. Go subscribe to Defango's channel. I don't give a crap. I don't watch none of these people's channels no more, man. Go subscribe to Unirock's channel, who was the sheriff for a while, who's now this, who's now that, who's not working with Lift the Veil, who doesn't want to be on InfoWars anymore, and they've put him on the back burner. But he will come back on InfoWars, man. How do you think they play these roles with these people and they get them ready for the next level, man? Is they work them along, man. It takes years. I've been on YouTube 7 years with these creeps telling me that people laugh about me in the back rooms at DEF CON as they're conspiring together to work over your American friends' kids. From Las Vegas, all Americans developing stories that there are Russians hacking the elections, man. This is all coming out of the 4chans, the 8chans, the message boards. There are no Russians watching your shitty content in America. There's nobody in other languages. They have their own YouTubers, man. There's nobody in other languages watching this crap as if they're getting the inside line, and that the government of America is getting over on the rest of the world by feeding you guys propaganda. Everyone's getting propaganda because they're watching YouTube, and it's working just great. That is not the reality. Is American YouTube is being manipulated by Google to manipulate Americans. Italian Google is being manipulated by Google to manipulate Italians. French Google is being manipulated by French men on Google. Google has offices in every country, in every language, and Google is doing the same thing to every population. And in those circles of Google grifting degenerate people, these morally broken mentor class seniors that are all over the world now, promoting themselves as good people. And that is not what good is, period, man. Period. And they're all networked together through Google, and Google is promoting them as the good people. Go watch Truther Girls if you want to know about being a truther on YouTube since 2010. Because she's got all the videos still up, and she's got all the right answers that the mainstream news wants you to hear. And everybody else, every other channel that had some context is deleted, man. And the people have been driven crazy, man. And all these observers on YouTube been sitting here watching. I rebuke all of you for not standing up and doing anything, man. As far as I'm concerned, man, if you speak English, you've been on Google, man, for 5 years watching this shit show, and you never said anything. You go on over to my channel and try and make a comment and notice you're blocked. Well, it's because I already noticed that you're promoting the scumbags on YouTube, and it's like 8 out of 10 people, man. If you're not new on YouTube, you're probably blocked on my channel. And do I block a lot of people by accident? Good people that are just saying one thing and never made a video? Yes. I'm sorry, man. But you know what? I don't have room to apologize and to take back and to live this life as a do the right thing every time for every person on Google. No. If you don't create content on YouTube, if you never created a video, do not comment under my content. Period. I don't want your input, okay? I'm talking about the people on YouTube that have been on YouTube, that are still on YouTube, that are all working together, that are all over 40, that are all mature adults responsible to what they're doing, and are criminals, period. For not standing out, man, for not doing the right thing. As far as I'm concerned, birds of a feather flocking together. You all deserve each other, man. When people like me walk away from this website and leave you freaks to your own devices, man, this website is crashing and burning, and nobody's even coming here for information anymore. They're coming here to see the beast give away 20 grand to somebody that stays on an escalator all night long, walking up an escalator in reverse. Okay? They're coming here for the transgender content available on American YouTube. Do you think there's transgenders on YouTube in Afghanistan, in Italy, in Jamaica? You think there's transgenders in Jamaica on YouTube? Because I bet you if you find one, they could be a refugee in Canada just by having a transgender YouTube channel in a lot of these countries. Will get you a lot of trouble. the freaks are coming to YouTube in droves, man. And there's nothing wrong with being transgender. But the way that you could be a Hawaiian person 200 years ago, and they would have recognized transgenderness as perhaps a woman in a man's body. And oftentimes, culturally, it was sometimes expected that if there was one boy in the family, that he would become. And it's loved, it's appreciated, and that's what Google has done, man. They've taken something that is a physiological reality for 1 in every 100,000 fucking people, you freaks. The numbers are so low, and then Google promoted it as something to try out, that it's real, that it's and everyone, and there are people with mental disorders. And when you marry these two things together, misinformation, mental disorders, propaganda, and reality, and when you pull something out and then you say, look, maybe this is you, give it a shot. And then you give people money for putting on makeup, thousands of dollars for buying their boyfriend a car and making a YouTube video about it. So much money you give them that they can buy their boyfriend a Lotus and give it away on YouTube. And you don't think this has an effect on 14-year-old girls and boys? Don't you remember when you were 14, man, in high school, and you liked your teacher? You thought your teacher from the 10th grade was so hot, and you just started talking to girls. Don't you remember that time? And now you have grown men and women on. Jeffree Star is like 40 years old, man. He's not a kid anymore, man. These people are working now on YouTube, man. With YouTube. Getting views, man. When you fall asleep, when you wake up, I guarantee you talk radio is on, man. Isaac, or what's that guy? David Icke. Everyone, I want you to do an exercise tonight. Put your YouTube on, play it on your subscriptions. Hit subscribers, and then play the first video in the subscribers suggested. I guarantee you, when you wake up 8 hours later, you will be watching David Icke. You will be watching some flat earth craziness, man. You will be watching talk radio channel promoting David Icke. And he will have 6 million views, man. How do you think these people get views, man? How do you think? Because Google promotes. Why do you think you're watching David Icke on the America? Because David Icke is a flagship, is an anchor store at the wall. Remember, you used to have shopping malls, and there'd be a Bay and a Sears. David Icke is the anchor store at the shopping mall. And all these little degenerates getting on board, where they're the little markets that are paying up to David Icke, that are rebranding David Icke's crap as real, and that they're all making money in that marketplace. And if you people are so old that you can't understand what's going on YouTube, man, think of, the shopping malls that are all closing down around you because the kids don't go there anymore, because they don't want to get sucked into the big box stores on the ends and then go through all the little stores and pay exorbitant prices when they could just go online and buy all this shit out of China themselves for $5 instead of $50, for $100 instead of $1,000, marked up by your own countrymen calling themselves capitalists, selling you things at interest on payments, so that you can afford their bullshit that they're marking up, that they're importing from another country, that they themselves, they know they're benefiting. And you calling this the American dream, man. You have all convinced yourselves that the Quran, that Muslim, that, caring about family, friends, people around you, community, religion, are nothing, man. The gold is your God. And now you are suffering from it, man. You will not be able to stop Google from turning every pizza delivery driver into an Uber driver. From making your kids are not going to go to university, man. They are going to get out of school and they are going to go work for Google, man. I guarantee you 3 out of 10 people's kids are already, if they're on YouTube, your kids are already working for Uber or Lyft or YouTube. Man, look around, man, and recognize that Google is promoting these traction to these things with money. They are manipulating the multi-channel networks. Do what Google wants. They explain to all the channels in their multi-channel network how to make videos without violating any terms of service, how to make edgy videos, and if you do get striked, well, how they can bring it back online for you. And then if someone copies your content, well, your multi-channel network can terminate their channels. If people are harassing you and you're in a multi-channel network, they will tell each other, and you will be harassed by a group of over 100 people paid by Google, working on YouTube, grifting. If they could put on makeup themselves, it would be, I Am to Scream or whatever that channel was. The guy out of Arizona that lives in a trailer that you guys presented as a cross-dresser, jib camera, presented him during a VOP, LARP, live action roleplay. Yeah, well, that guy, Waiting to Scream or Dying to Scream or whatever his name is, it's like it tantamount to the Silence of the Lambs Predator being monetized on YouTube, walking in front of the camera. 13 ages 13 and up, rated PG-13, because these people will not rate their shit 18 plus because it cannot be monetized. Walking in front of the camera with panties on and his thing tucked. Man, these are the people that are on YouTube. I don't care if Defango and Lestat want to talk out against these people now before they become like them. Because I've become like Monograph without doing just understanding what these people are doing to other people. You have to put yourself in their shoes, man. And when you do, you will glimpse into the minds of psychotic people. You will never be the same after investigating people on YouTube. Take my word for it, kids. You will be damaged goods after trying to help people on YouTube. The reason why is it's gaslighting, man. The YouTube at its core is Google now. It's not YouTube anymore. It's all the Google Plus employees that they shut down Google Plus and they made YouTube like Google Plus. And it's like Google Plus was Google's version of Facebook. And when it flopped, and when Google realized the liability, because all of their scumbags were using Google Plus analytics to cyber stalk, you remember the targeted individuals between 2015 and 17? Those were all people that didn't suppress their Google analytics in their Google Analyzer. You could see every store a person goes into, every search that a person put into the Google search engine. And creeps like Monograph knew that, and they would go on Google and they would check all your details. And you would be feeling like people are watching you, man. You are now a targeted individual. No, you're just too stupid to turn off what Google turned on. What Google already has an advantage for all of them, they didn't have on YouTube. And they turned it on YouTube with Google Plus. And you used to have to sign up for monetized YouTube to get the Google Plus package. It was another contract. And what that contract says is you basically going to be under Google's control, and you're going to follow Google's contract. And Google, well, they ain't YouTube. And Google bought YouTube to take what YouTube had, the power it had in the marketplace, and to manipulate it to its advantage. Period, man. Google sells words. If you want to buy the word Pizzagate, you set up an AdWords account. You send Google probably $5,000 in the LA market for Pizzagate. And anyone that types in Pizzagate in the search engine, in Google's search engine, will get your channel, your videos. If you put in you pay Google for glass broken window needs replacement. Broken window needs replacement. 4 words. You send Google $2,000. Broken window needs replacement in that order. Everyone that types in broken window needs replacement in a Google search engine will get your company. Will get your phone number. Number 1, motherfucker. Number 1. Okay? So if you think you're going on Google products and you're not directly hooked in to people paying Google to bring you advertising money, well, you in the wrong place now, kid. And when you come on Google, you're going to watch the TV now. Because Google took a big payment from the TV to shelf YouTube as you knew it, to make YouTube go away, and to introduce Teletube, which is you trick jokers with faces that look like they could smash open bank vaults and with more chipped teeth than my cell phone, okay? You people smoking and drinking and being drunks and maniacs online with unkept in unclean environments, you think you can compete with me? You can't compete with Google, man. You will never be able to compete with Google. I will bet all my money, every penny I have, that you will all fail competing against Google. 99.998% will fail. Google will know more about you than you know about yourself. And Google will know everything you ever did on the internet eventually. Google is in the process of putting all this information together and making a landscape that, Google can recreate entire movements in other countries based on this country's movement here 5 years ago. They could replicate this. Anything that's happened in America, they could replicate anywhere around the world. That's what analytics are, man. Any way that people have felt, if Google has a record of what they did preceding to what caused people to feel that way, they can replicate that in another market. They can sell that. That is something that they have an understanding over. Google is getting an understanding. First, they're going to start with all the illegal people in your environment. So everyone that's not paying taxes, that was delivering for Pizza Hut, that was delivering for Pizza, well, they're going to be replaced by Uber food, okay? So Uber Eats, sorry. So Uber, when you pay Uber Eats, you pay their Cash App, the money goes to motherfucking Amsterdam, you trick jokers. They don't pay not 1 cent of tax. Not 1 cent of tax for your roads, not 1 cent of tax for the tree trimming in the city that you live in, not 1 cent of tax. They get the money in Amsterdam, they write a check to the Pizza Hut, minus the tax. They write, and they send the taxes to the government. They write a check, so no more cash, and it's all cash, and the people at the pizzeria ain't telling the government that they just made $20 for a pie. No, the government's getting their $2 for your $20 because Uber Eats is paying them directly from Amsterdam, and Uber Eats is paying everyone driving their fucking little bag lunches around with no insurance, with no retirement plan, with no type of job security, with nothing. You using your car, you could get robbed, you could get killed on the job, and nothing. You will get nothing. Uber Eats and Uber, they've just brought forward in the last year a new insurance policy because they had all these people for the first 2 years riding around on their regular people's insurance, picking up fares like they a fucking taxi driver, man. You got people. You know what Uber's replacing? Uber's replacing Craigslist rideshare, man. That was $1 million industry for people not paying any taxes, driving people back and forth between all the major cities. You could go on Craigslist, and anytime, every hour there was people leaving to the next city for $25. You could go 3-4 hour drive, $25. The buses were at 50 and 60 now. And all these people had a ride share, and it was people were buying vans so they could drive 8 people instead of just 4. And it was booming, kids, booming. Go ahead and type in ride share, and then look at websites back in the year 2010 and prior to that, and you will understand why Uber's around now, because they closed down that market. And then everybody that gets a paycheck from Uber, all your friends that are working for Google, well, Google's paying your government. Their taxes at source. Their employee tax, as if they're employees in America. Oh, yeah. Google gets the benefit of receiving the money in Amsterdam. Oh, yeah. So then 18 of the $20 goes to Amsterdam. And then Google pays out the American employer government taxes first. Okay, and that's why the government is never going to stop Uber from encroaching on your taxi licenses municipally. Why? Well, because in each city there's taxis that have careers of driving people around. And don't you see, they ain't picketing no more. They ain't up in arms no more. Why? Well, first of all, because they don't need the advertising anymore, because Uber's making plenty money. And second of all, the reason you don't see these taxis anymore is because the people realize that the government ain't gonna do squat. They're not gonna